Welcome to the weekly roundup on SA Footballer TV with Tom and Tom. Hello, Tom.
Hello, TJ.
Yeah, great to have you here, Lippo. And we're going to get straight into it. We're, of course, reviewing round 9, previewing round 10 of Division 5. We're going to start with the shootout at the jail.
Yes.
Get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Pretty good. Came up with it. So, Edward Smith Reserve. And it was Greenacres. The boys from the cells, 21 goals 12, 138. Glenunga, 21 goals 11, 137. What an absolute thriller, 1 point. Would have been great for the spectators.
Would have been a cracker to watch, this one, yeah, for sure. Got Greenacres with Clark and Tarsa kicking 10, so...
Lazy 10.
Lazy 10, very good fire. McAdam with 3, Fishhook.
Yep.
That's a great last name,
yep.
Fishhook 2. Maniotis 2, and the rest were singles there, and the best players, Clark and Tarsa with 10. I assume that's him in the best players, and his brother got second best.
Well, he's either first or second.
Yeah, Wheaton, Cooper and McAdam round out the best players.
There's a bit of a shootout between the two goal kickers because on the Glenunga side, Roberts kicked 7, Berkey kicked 3, Bus 3, and a brace to Ellis and Abel and Jackway and Benning. They all kicked 2, so no single goal kickers there, Glenunga. That's the way to get yourself mentioned on the SA Footballer TV. Whilst Roberts, Benning and Abel were the better players. And tell you what, you don't see that too often in a game of footy. 42 goals in a game, mate.
That's crazy. Chad Burke in some seriously good form as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah, leading the goal kicking at the moment, and obviously doing a fair bit around the ground just with the 3. I think he's playing a lot more up forward these days, but also can play in the middle.
Slowed down a bit, I reckon.
Yeah, well, I don't think he was that quick to begin with. Anyway, now our next one was the battle between, looking back at last week's ladder, they were 1 and 3. It was Hectorville in 1, Lockleys at 3, but it was at Lockleys over, and we all tipped it. We thought Lockleys would bounce back, and they did. 10-16, 76. Hectorville 8-9, 57. And for Lockleys, it was only multiple goal kickers were Stormworth and Stewart and 6 singles. Their best player was Stormouth with Patton and Hutt and Martinello for Hectorville, mate.
Hectorville's goal kickers, we got Searwald on 3, Stephenson with 2, the rest were singles there. So best players, we had Ford, Davila, Carl, Searwald, Thwaites and Ben. So, E-Ben. Well, it's a good win by Lockleys after a loss to Rosewater the week before, so...
Yep. And we'll probably, we'll go over the ladder once we've done all the games, but it would have moved them probably up from, just looking at last week's ladder, it probably would have moved them up the ladder to, well, could be as high as first, but certainly equal first.
Yeah.
So our next game we're going to look at, mate, and for all of our Rosewater fans, and there's a few, obviously, Trev does Magoo's Corner. We did say Pulteney would have to win a game this week. But there's only one way to describe Rosewater's form, and that's schizophrenic, because they can knock off the top team and they can get bounced by the bottom team. And look, you can't blame the inaccurate kicking, but it was Pulteney 19-11, 125, Rosewater 13-22, 100. So they had 5 more scoring shots.
But kicking got off to a good start too. I heard kicked the first 3 or 4 goals for the day, and yeah, Pulteney all theirs after that. And
I guess you'd assume Pulteney kicked 19, Aish would have kicked a few.
Yeah, Aish 11 goals. That's a fair day out there.
The only multiple goal kicker, and he managed to sneak into 5th best.
That's a disgrace.
I once kicked 12 and got 3rd best, so I feel your pain, Aish. The other better players were Forbes, Curry, Kimber and Frick, who must have been amazing, to be honest with you.
Must have played very, very well.
On the Rosewater side, that's not the diff with 5, is it?
The diff with 5, yeah, he had a few words with me Saturday night saying that him and Aish were having a bit of a shootout at one stage.
Be a lost champ.
Kerry and Lloyd, he said, it was a little bit like that, but yeah, he was very devastated. 5 goals and didn't slip into he's got 2nd best, so he was devastated. So 5 goals for him, Birch with 3. The rest were singles there. Yeah,
Williams, Lockwood and Birch, the other better players with Thomas. Is that the big ruckman for Rosewater?
That is, yeah, Mr. Daniel Wommack trained Thomas.
Okay, it's interesting if he's in the best players, and so Rosewater on ballers must have got some use, but gee, they obviously haven't been able to find a defender to shut down Aish.
Yeah, I think they had a few blokes have a crack at him, but I think the diff might have gone back there and had a crack after he kicked his 5th. But I think the Rosewater lads, I think they were a little bit worried about that game after the week before. I don't know why they seemed to worry about it, but they had a feeling that they might struggle against Pulteney, and they did.
You know the good news though, as they were leaving Morgan Oval, they broke into 5 Bentleys and went to Cashie's and had a great night. Yes. No, just kidding, boys. You know I love you. The next one was Smithfield and Elizabeth, mate, and well, the boys just down the road from each other. Bit of a rivalry there, but we didn't think Elizabeth would be any match, and we were wrong in the first quarter. It was Elizabeth 3-3 to Smithfield 2-2. Then something happened that wasn't good for Elizabeth. They kicked another 8 points, while Smithfield kicked the next 20 goals and 13 points.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Smithfield. Well, that's it. So Smithfield literally must have kicked at least 20 goals in a row, possibly 22.
Yeah, 10 goal 3rd quarter will do it.
Yeah, the 7 goal. The second wasn't too shabby either. So for Smithfield, Ashby back in form with 8. Bane, the villain from Batman, with 4. Gray kicked 3. Gollan and Webber both kicked 2. Thompson, Bain and Tower were the better players. Mickey Ashby popped in there as well. For Elizabeth, let's give them the single goal kickers a shout out.
Single goal kickers,
Yep.
We got Jamie Quirk kicked 1, James with 1, Upton with 1, and their best players were Ferber, Greenshields, Han, Hall and Guttridge. So, Elizabeth's struggling a little bit.
Say Ferber? Ferber.
Ferber?
Ferber. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, a little bit of a Freudian slip there. Which takes us to our next game. He hasn't bumped the camera this segment. He's doing well, the old producer. And Blackfriars, they've been very consistent, very good this year, making every post a winner. And it was their last quarter that set the game alight with 6 straight goals. They got over CBC 13-8-86, CBC 6-16-52.
Yeah,
CBC had more scoring shots.
Only 6 points in it at 3/4 time, and Blackfriars able to run away with it. So.
Yep. Oh, interesting stat for a stiff shit stat, and it was CBC by 6. It was Blackfriars by 5. It was Blackfriars by 6, and then they kicked 6.
They ran away with it.
There you go. Lots of 6s.
Yeah.
The Devil will be real happy with that. Blackfriars, Hillman kicked 4, Valenti and Brinkett both kicked doubles. Bailey, Harmer and Horsell were their best players. Whilst for CBC?
CBC, we had Keane with 3 goals, the rest were singles, and we got Williams, Builder, Dubbridge, Turner and Glenn in the best players.
Yep.
I thought they'd be going a little bit better than what they had been.
Yeah, so. Look, CBC now, they're 3 games now outside of the 5 at the halfway mark. We might as well have a quick look at the ladder. And that could spell danger times for the boys from Dolphin Park.
Could be. Seems like they're good enough to knock off any decent team on their day, but yeah, struggling.
Yeah,
struggling a little bit.
Maybe they're with us anyway. They're not only 3 percentage behind. So at the top, we've got Blackfriars, as we said. They're a game clear on top from Hectorville in 2nd, who are 7-2 with Lockley. Smithfield 6-3 in 4th with Rosewater. The top 5 set.
Very tight top 5 though. So I think Rosewater was 3rd last week. Lost, dropped them down to 5th. So yeah, very set top 5.
Yep. And we announced last week the bottom 5 is set as the relegation is set. Pulteney and Elizabeth, but if Pulteney can keep winning, they've
sniff. Looks like CBC is struggling a little bit as well. But so if they can win 3 or 4 in the back. On the back 9, there might be a chance.
Greenacres winning by a point on the weekend might hurt them, but their percentage sucks. So that certainly won't help them. One thing we'll say about this division, there's a lot of high scores, mate, which means there's probably quite a few goal kickers who have kicked goals. What do you think?
Goal kickers that have kicked goals.
Yes. Computer stop working.
Yeah, I heard Blackfriars had a few that kicked goals on the weekend.
Yeah, they haven't had any real big goal kickers though. They keep kicking their tail.
You just shot me down.
Yeah, so those goal kickers that kick goals have been good. Let's just list off the top of our heads. Some of those guys
about 10 or 15 in front at the moment, so he's plugging away with 3 or 4 goals a week.
Yeah, and Ashby kicked, of course, 8 last week.
Yeah, Rentasa 10 as well.
Yeah. So, and we're going to start with Hectorville and Glenunga. It's 2nd versus 6th. Hectorville should avenge last week's loss.
Hectorville by a bit, yeah.
Yep. Next one, CBC and Elizabeth. Elizabeth certainly struggled for 3 quarters there. CBC must win if there to be any chance at all playing finals.
You think CBC there?
Yep. Greenacres and Blackfriars. Greenacres with 21 goals last week and a 1-point win, but Blackfriars will probably shut this game down. It'll be a 13 goal to 8 type win.
I'm going to go Greenacres in an upset.
At the jail.
Why not?
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. I'm the only one here that normally picks up the big upsets and nails them, but yeah, no, well done, mate. I think you're wrong. Because the locals just start taking that guy every week. He makes up halfway through one of my segments. Lockleys and Pulteney. Lockleys are the form team of the comp, you could argue. But Lockleys will smash it.
Yeah, Lockleys win easy.
Yeah, I think the come down from last week's surprise win might be a fair way. And Smithfield and Rosewater, my God, Smithfield at Smithfield are tough to beat. But Rosewater live for big games, and they certainly don't live for games that they think they're going to win. I think Rosewater, surely.
I don't know, it's another one away. I think Rosie's got a stretch of about 4 away in a row here. So yeah, they might struggle here against Smithfield, so Smithfield for me.
Certainly a match of the round. They're both 6-3, sitting 4th and 5th. We disagree with each other, which is a good sign. Should be a great day. Great game if you're in the Smithfield area. Get out there to see that one. Why is that funny?
If you're in the Smithfield area,
you know, you're driving
Beats
through,
doing other things.
Yeah. got some free time in your hands. 6 to 12. Yeah, no, definitely get out there. It'll be a cracker of a match.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for joining us on the weekly roundup of Division 5. We're back next week.